Y'all know what it is. I'm waiting on you all. This is your girl Tendai, the hair whisperer, once again with Texture Talk Live with the hair whisperer Tendai. Of course, I just said that. So we're waiting for you good people to come on here as you always do every single week, every Wednesday. It's Wednesday, y'all. And I'm so excited to be here once again with all of you guys. So as we continue to just wait, looks like we'll have a couple people on here in just a few minutes. Just want to let you guys know that I'm always so grateful and thankful when you guys show up and we have an opportunity to talk to one another. It's such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful experience. So let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Type in "my natural is my natural" as we always do. And we're going to have an amazing show. Once again, y'all, once again, it's about to be on and popping. Look, you guys can call me today. We don't have a special guest, but you guys are my special guest today. So I want you guys to utilize the phone number, which is 636-206-4922. I'm actually going to put that on the screen so you guys will have it. 636-206-4922. Remember to type in "my natural is my natural," and it's going to be an amazing show. I'm your girl Tendai, the hair whisperer, and we have an amazing time here all the time, right? So what are we talking about today? We're going to be talking about this cold weather, all right? Hey, what's going on, Veronica Burrows? Hey, my natural is my natural out of Maryland. We also got Memphis in the house. You guys are jumping on here really quickly, so you know I love to shout you guys out. So we got Veronica Burrows. She's out of Maryland. Phyllis Combs. She's like, "My natural is my natural." Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Angela Nicole. Yes, it's going to be an amazing show. And we're talking about just natural hair. You guys see, I finally took my hair out of that bun. And all I did really was actually, after taking it out of the bun, my hair was kind of straightened, just straightened from being stretched out. So let me move so y'all can see. So what I did was I took some water on my hands and literally grabbed the tips of my hair and wet it from like this point all the way down, just so it curl up a little bit so I can have this fabulous fro that we got. What's going on, Jennifer Mays out of Memphis Barbecue Company? You got food, girl? We like barbecue, don't we, y'all? So, hey, what's going on? Well, I have to see where that is. You have to let us know where that is in Memphis. That's the actual barbecue place. I'm a little naive to this, but I hope that's what it is. I love food. And I'm actually been starting this whole workout thing and kind of sore and trying to eat right and all that stuff because your girl saw a couple pictures of the stuff I didn't really care for. So, the thing is that we can't complain about things. We have to do something about it if you don't like it, right? Right, which is why we're going to get into this whole natural hair thingamapoo. All right, so the number, guys, first of all, if you're on here, let me have you guys share the video, share. I made these little cute signs. You guys can actually read them now. It says share, push share on your video right now. You're not doing anything. I mean, you're watching me, but you can help me by sharing the video, and that'll help us to be able to grow our numbers, and that's a great thing. But the number to call in is "my natural is my natural." Memphis spell check took over. Oh, okay, I got you. All right. So you don't have barbecue. I thought it was Memphis barbecue. Girl, you had me excited. Alice Bouchamp. "My natural is my natural" out of Jackson. I'm gonna say that this is a type the thing is taking over too. But either way it goes, welcome, Alice. For those of you who are brand new, "my natural is my natural" is our slogan. That's what that's our affirmation. That's how we take ownership of our natural hair journey. And we help people to understand that, your natural is like a thumbprint. It's yours. And you can't go following somebody else's regimen, kind of trying to get the results that they get. But we can talk about your experiences and what you've done in order to go through your natural hair process. So the number to call me today is 636-206-4922. I did have that on there a second ago. And yes, 636-206-4922. Thank you so much for sharing, Veronica. I appreciate it. That's the number. We are going to have some giveaways tonight, guys. So be sure you stay tuned throughout the whole show. We're going to be giving away some of my products from Healthy Hair Solutions. And when you guys see, there's going to be a link in the comments. So be sure to click on the link. Hey, Royce Lobster Gaines, that's my girlfriend there. She's watching. Hey, fabulous friend of mine. So yes, be sure to check in, and we're going to be giving away products like you said. So let's get right into our subject for tonight. So how many of you all have felt, if not felt, especially during this winter season, felt like jumping off the natural hair bandwagon? I ain't gonna say show of hands, but you could just type in me. Oh yes. If you felt like jumping off of this bandwagon that they call a natural hair journey, go ahead and type that in. Yes, I have. Yes, we can, and yes, we did. Yes, we are. You know, we've all been there. This is Tony Foreman. She said, my natural is my natural. We've all been there, ladies. And the thing is that, you know, understanding what your natural texture is doing and helps you to be able to really get a grasp on what you are doing with your life. So we got some people coming in with your hair, right? Some people were saying me. That's Dorothy Dottie Thompson. Yes. We've got Leroy that said not me. So shout out to the people that said not me. Yep, Dorothy, she said yes. Kendra said today. Kendra, you better not. With all the work we've done, you better not. So she's Angela Nicole says, I'm a newbie, so not yet. You're in the right place, honey, so you can get you some information tonight. Lori said not me. Kendra said me. Jennifer says me. And then Veronica Burrow says me big time. Sean said not me with all caps. But let me tell you guys, the thing is that we've all had this experience. So we want to give ourselves some empowered tools to understand why we shouldn't, first of all, and how to get through this time. You know, some of the main reasons why people feel that need to is because you feel out of control, completely out of control with your natural hair journey. I mean, that is to be expected, especially, you know, with what you have going on, and with natural hair journey being so kind of brand new. You know what I mean? It's new in the sense that so many women have committed to their natural hair journey. They're actually saying, you know what, I'm giving up the cream and crack. I'm just jumping off. And they jump off with no tools. You know, there was a point when there weren't very many products on the market to help you with your natural hair journey. There was not much education for helping with your natural hair journey. And so many people jumped in with, you know, just kind of blindly. And shout out to everybody who stuck with it for just for the fact of saying, you know what, I'm going to learn more about me. That actually opened the door up for many other people. Dorothy is actually, she's on here. She's like, I've never had control. I mean, I get it, Dorothy. There's so many people who feel just like you do. So we're going to kind of talk about some things to get you really understanding how to join in. Well, first of all, the affirmation, my natural is my natural, started when I was working in a salon every day, pretty much. And I noticed once I decided to take all my clients to natural, I decided no more relaxers for anybody. Now, I wasn't getting them anyway, and I knew how to take care of my own hair for the most part because of I had to, because I didn't have time to work on my own hair. So I was doing things to my hair to, you know, straighten it. They now call these things silk presses, which in reality, a lot of hairstylists, we have been straightening our hair and doing that stuff. But other than that, my whole journey at this point, once I big chopped, let me say I big chopped my hair 4 times. My whole journey was more so about me understanding this time around what my hair could do from the root all the way to the tooth, all the way to the end. I wanted to know from the scalp out to the end. I wanted my hair to grow out with no heat damage. And so that's the reason why I big chopped for the 4th time this last time. And that was my goal. So with that in mind, you know, it helped me to be able to help my clients. I had so many women that came in, and once I told them all, I'm going to take all of you guys natural. I told them one at a time. And yeah, you know, I got that whole look like, okay. And then some of them was like, well, what you gonna do? But many stuck with me. They allowed me to be able to transition them over, just trusting in me to guide them along the way. And some of us have been in this whole thing since day one. I'd say 10 years now, 6, 7, 8, years. And it's been a journey, a learning process, even for me, as with many hairstylists. Okay. So that actually taught me a few things. When people came in, they were starting to feel this whole insecure thing, because you don't have a lot of support either from the men in your life or from older relatives or from other relatives. Like I said, more power to the people who had all the support, but there are many women who don't get that support, and they literally jumped in without any help. You know what I'm saying? With nobody telling them that, hey, you look beautiful with your natural hair. I mean, so many people, like Sean said, she's been in it for 6 years. You guys can go ahead and type in how long you've been on this natural hair journey. But the bottom line is that we've had to learn a whole lot of things. And My Natural is My Natural has really been an affirmation to help women be able to take ownership. And in those times when they feel like I'm going to give up, it helps them to go back and remind themselves that, wait a minute, this is mine. There is something I can do with it, and I don't have to be, running from my natural. Okay. So if you haven't already typed in My Natural is My Natural, go ahead and do that. My Natural is My Natural would be a wonderful thing. Leroy's Lobster Gang, she's been natural since 1999. I actually did her big chop in 1999. So you go, girl. That was back Lauryn Hill days. Okay. She says, I love my hair, 5 years natural. Awesome, awesome, awesome. 10 years, right on, Kendra Hughes. 10 plus. That's amazing. That's amazing. 2 years now. So shout out to all my newbies. Welcome to the Texture Talk with the Hair Whisperer, Tendai. Remember, my number to call in is 636-206-4922. If you guys want to talk about anything, you have questions, we definitely want to hear from you. 4922. I can't talk and type at the same time, but I did that. So let's just go in and discuss hair textures. All right. So a lot of you guys, you're brand new to Texture Talk. Some of you have heard this information before, and the ones who have, wonderful, you guys can chime in, and the ones who have not, listen up. All right, so how do you identify your texture category? One of the very first things that we had to do was to identify your texture category. If you're going to take ownership of your natural hair journey, you got to know where you are on the roadmap, right? So how do you determine what your texture is? Get your pens, get your paper out. This is your time to take some notes and really, really understand. Now, I do have this information that we can email to you. If you guys go ahead and put your information in, be sure to say, hey, me. And also don't forget to click on the link to get the products. There's 4 major texture categories that have been identified. Category 1, category 2, category 3, and category 4. So you guys can see that category 1, 2, 3, and 4. Really, really good to know these things. And we're going to actually talk about the difference. Hey, Terry Jones from Philadelphia. Girl, Valentina Valentine. You talk about you're a 4F. No such a thing. But that's funny. That's a good one. You made me LOL on that. So category 1 is going to be the straightest texture there is. And when we talk about texture, guys, we're talking about the strand of hair that your DNA naturally produces. Not talking about getting a relaxer, not talking about heat damaged hair. I'm talking about what's growing from your scalp. Okay. And I would say you want to determine this kind of changes as you go throughout your life. So you may start off, your baby comes out with this silky, fine, straight hair, and then as your baby starts to grow and the wind starts to hit it and the baby, and then the food that the baby's eating starts to really, get into the baby's hair and all that good stuff. Yeah, you get to see exactly what's going on. Then there's another change as they hit adolescence, and their hormones start kicking in and their hair changes again. And then as we go into adulthood, our hair kind of changes. And then you'll talk to some of our older ones who've gone through like menopause and stuff, and their hair has changed again. And God forbid you've ever gone through chemotherapy or anything like that, your hair will change again. So yes, our hair can change. Okay, category 1, straightest texture there is. So we're talking about people that are usually of Asian descent. When you look at somebody's hair of Asian descent, they usually have straight hair that grows out with no curl pattern whatsoever. And I'm talking about the longer it gets, long, it's straight hair. Now, if you think about all hair, 1, 2, 3, and 4, hair, that 1, 2, 3, 4, hair, it's all hair. So that's the one thing that all these texture categories have in common, is that it's all hair. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's hair. Okay. Now the shape is going to be different, and that's what this 1, 2, 3, and 4. As you go to category 2, it's a slightly wavy pattern. So we're thinking about everything on a spectrum. So we got category 1 and then category 2. So you see, category 1 is going to be straight. And then category 2 is going to be slightly wavy. So if you see people and their hair is getting really long and it's got this slight wave pattern in it, I've seen that in white people. I've seen that on Hispanics. I've seen that on Indian people. A lot of different people, even on some Asian people, I've seen a slight wave pattern in their hair. So you got the straight hair, then it goes to slightly wavy. And then we're going to go into category 3. So as it starts to dip a little bit harder, that S goes into category 3. So that's where things start to change. Now, category 3, write this down, y'all, is the biggest texture category there is. The biggest one. That means that there's a whole lot of people in the category 3, and a lot of folks that think they're in category 4 are not. You're actually on the cusp of a 3 and 4, but we'll get into that as we go. So category 3 is going to be S pattern. So you come from the big waves, and all of a sudden you got this big old dip S, and then S goes on over, and it gets to be smaller and smaller and smaller S's. How do you know the difference? Okay. Well, the way you're going to know that is by actually taking a strand of your hair. And I'm glad I have my hair like this today, because I can show y'all some things. Okay. So a person like me who has, I need a clip for my hair. I should have brought one in here, but I didn't. So a person like me who has a S pattern in their hair. Okay. You can see it kind of like right here, right? You can see it on the side a little bit where I put the S pattern. You see the S patterns in my hair? So that means I'm in a category 3. Now, some of y'all will be like, well, my hair ain't like that. My hair pattern is tighter than that. Well, you might have a smaller S pattern. It may be right, just real close together, kind of like this. Can y'all see that? This one. It's kind of an S pattern like that. And then right before you go into 4, it'll get really, really tight. Like this. That's what people start thinking they're a 4. It'll be like this. See that? And then you'll get into this really compact Z pattern. See, this is what I mean. This is where you're borderline 3 and 4, because that little bump makes a big difference in the way your hair hydrates. Okay? 3 and 4. So we've got category 3 being everywhere from here, big giant S's, on down to these smaller S's. And then 4 is naturally going to be your Z pattern hair. See that? So we got straight 1, category 2, category 3 S pattern, category 4 Z pattern. Now, how do you know how to determine this? The thing is that you have to do it when your hair is hydrated. You can't tell what your hair strand is when it's bone dry or has been super dehydrated, because so many people, they'll look at their hair and it's been sucked dry, literally from your hats that you've been wearing, shampooing your hair too much, and just doing a lot of things that just suck moisture from your hair strands. See, a hair strand has layers. So if you look at this right here, this would be one strand under a microscope. If you've ever seen a hair strand under a microscope, there's like these little shafts, almost like shingles on the hair, right? Okay, so that will be the outer layer of the hair. I hope that makes sense to you guys, but like the outer layer of it. And that outer layer literally responds to moisture. It responds to the atmosphere. It responds to a lot of different things. The drier the atmosphere is, the drier your hair is going to be, if that makes sense. If you're wearing cotton hats on your head, like a stocking cap or anything like that under a wig, your hair is going to be drier. If you sleep on a cotton pillowcases, the cotton sucks moisture, so it's going to suck the moisture from your hair. You know, and we're going to talk about some other things that cause dryness too. But that's the first part I want to tell you about. So in defining, understanding what your texture category is category 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's going to determine the shape of your actual strand of hair. Okay. And if you guys have questions, you guys can call me 636-206-4922. You can call me. We can talk about whatever you guys would like to talk about. So as we move on, we're going to talk about now the subcategory. So the main category is the number that talks about the shape of your hair. The subcategory is literally A, B, or C. A, B, or C. So you hear people, so when y'all say, okay, I'm a 4F, a 6Z, there's no such thing. You either are 1, 2, 3, or 4 with a subcategory of A, B, and C. Now, there's some variations out there that have different things, but I'm going to tell you one from behind the chair, working on not just myself, but a lot of different people, that this is pretty accurate. Okay. So you've got category 1, 2, 3, and 4 with the subcategory of A, B, and C. A means that one strand of your hair is really, really, really fine, really thin. Meaning, like, if you take, you know, you can barely see one of my strands. But I'll tell you right now, with my hair bunched up like this, you can see still through it. That tells you right there that my hair is fine. The fact that you can see my hand through my hair, okay? And my hair is trimmed. Like, there's no split ends or anything like that. I trimmed my hair, but my hair is fine. But I have a lot of strands of hair on my head, okay? So you got A, which is going to be fine. B is going to be a little bit thicker. And C is going to be even thicker. Hey, Mom. All right. So you got fine, medium, and coarse. A, B, and C. So when you look at one of your strands compared to somebody else's hair strand or somebody else's hair strand, and you look at those, you can actually see that one strand is going to be skinnier than the other one. So that's how you're going to determine there's a person that could be in a category 1 with a fine strand of hair. So that will make them a 1A. A person that could be in a category 2, meaning they have slightly wavy hair with a thicker strand of hair. So they will be a 2C. A 3 would be a S pattern. The bigger S's on down to smaller S's. Could be a thick strand, which is coarse, a medium strand, which is B, or a fine strand, which is C. So you see there's variations on everybody. So it's definitely really, really important for you to identify what your texture category is. All right, let me see you guys type in my natural is my natural, because we're really getting on down to business here. So what does that mean? A few things. Okay, for example, number one of the things is that we tend to chase people's categories and forms of beauty all the time. We've been doing it, you know, everything from straightening our hair, we're chasing category 1, you know, with the bone straight hair, or with roller setting our hair, we're chasing category 2 with these big old curls. But a lot of times we have failed to really take ownership and understand what our texture does. Okay, so I'm going to literally take some time to show you guys, like with my hair, for example. One of the things I like to tell people is that my hands are the best tools I could ever use. Now, you guys see, I did my hair like this on purpose because I wanted to be able to show you guys some things. You could see how my strands, my hair looks like it's super thick, right? But when I get up close, really, there's not a whole lot of strands there. See, when I actually pull this down, you can see that what looks like a whole chunk of hair is really not a whole lot of hair. And I'll show you, for example, if I was to twist this up, this twist gets super skinny really, really quickly. And that tells you that that's not a whole lot of strands in there. You see that? So yeah, it's really important to know what your texture can do. And I can show you guys a twist and how this all works. Okay. It's really important for me to know these things. Now, look how much hair I have parted out in my base. That's a lot, right? It's from here to here. But look how skinny this plait is. Not a whole lot of strands. That means that my fine hair, I have a lot of strands of hair on my head, but my fine strands, I have to treat them almost like a spider web in a sense that is very, very fragile. Very, very fragile. So I can't go in doing things like braids on my hair, like micro braids, for example. When you do a micro braid, you literally grab this much hair, okay? This much hair. And if I take this much hair, okay, you see that's not a lot of strands in there. If I take that much hair or a little less and I pinch that off and then take some thick, coarse canker fiber hair and wrap it around this section of hair, oh baby, I'm snatching all of that off. You see that? That's only about 10 strands of hair, if that. And they're fine on top of that. People have gone in chasing other people's forms of beauty and literally have snatched their edges off doing that. Because if I pinch all that away, I've literally taken that section and now caused tension. Okay, so this is going to be my focal point, right? And then I have tension all around this area. I can't go the right direction because I'm trying to draw. Okay, tension all around that area, pulling to this one central location, and that's going to snatch it off. You're right. Leslie Smith, she said micro braids are not for me. Not for me either. And you see, those are things that you have to know. So people say, I'm going natural. I'm gonna get braids, and I'm gonna wear braids all the way until my hair grows out. And by the time your hair grows out, your hairline has grown back, like moonwalk, literally back towards your neck. Okay, so you don't want that happening with your hair. Somebody says that's exactly what happened to me this summer. Exactly. So now, how can you make this thing reverse? So understanding, like we talked about, your texture category 1, 2, 3, and 4, and understanding how to take ownership of your natural, not chasing everybody else's form of beauty. What I have to do for me is I have to do more gentle styles. If I'm going to do any kind of twist or anything like that, it would be my own hair. Because you see, hey, if I'm going to twist it, I can rock it like this with a bunch of them all over my head, twist it up, put it back or whatever. Okay. Another thing that I like to do is from time to time, I will stretch my hair out, and I don't use a blow dryer or anything to stretch it out. I pull my hair back into a bun. And when I do that with my hands, I use my flat hands, I pull it all back into a bun. And I might wear it like this for probably about a week. It's here during the day, and I twist it up, put it in a bun at night, right? See that? Put it in a bun at night, and I put my satin bonnet on, or I sleep on a satin pillowcase, and then during the day, I'll wear it back like this, do my little edges up. And then at night, I'll sleep a little bit, take it a little bit higher up on my head like this. And you notice how I'm using my hands, flat palms. I go like this with my hair and put my little scrunchie on my hair, like a 3-year-old on my hair. And I just kind of fold it under to stretch my hair out a little bit, right? And just take that band and put it on there one time, not a rubber band, guys. Something for like with the material around it, satin on it. Okay, so the reason why I tuck my hair like this, I heard somebody mention shrinkage. Okay, if I take my hair, there's a couple of things. If I take my hair, all stretch it out, and I twist it around like this. First of all, I'm stretching all the hair out, all the way to the end, and then I twirl it around and I put my little bun on. All this hair is kind of stretched out. Okay, it's all stretched out now in a sense because it's now in a bun, but the hairs are stretched out. Okay, when I let it down in the morning, I can literally kind of shake my hair out. And when I go into the shower, I'm able to take some water or something like that, moisturizing, and go on the ends of my hair. Okay, like she said, that straightens my hair. That straightens my hair too. And so that's why in the morning you're able to take a little bit, either get in the shower, let the water steam hit it a little bit. And that's the beautiful thing about being natural, is that the steam will actually draw it up. Again, my natural is my natural. And there are things I'm sure that works really good for you. Guys, if you want to call in, I would appreciate it. And I'm sure some of our other guests would appreciate it. Calling in 636-206-4922 and share what it is that you do for your natural hair. What do you do for your hair? 636-206-4922. Let's look at some of our questions. I cut my hair to 1 inch and braided, and for 3 months, I gained 3 inches. I'm 4C, but the ends are brittle and dry. It feels like wool. What can I do? So that gets us into the next part of our conversation. Valentina. It gets us into the next part of our conversation. What causes this dryness in our hair? So think about this, guys. We talked about category 1 being here, category 2, right here, 3 and 4. So they're opposite ends of a spectrum, okay? So we're going to have 1 on one end of the spectrum and 4 on the opposite end of the spectrum. They both have starting points. So let me take this off. They both have starting points, 1 here and 4 down here. All right. The starting point is going to be very, very, very important. So a lot of people are still in this whole age of trying to figure out, what is all this conversation about co-washing? What is all this conversation about texture typing? Listen, guys, the mother of invention is necessity. Okay. We came up with all these different terms and things because it was needed. Let me explain to you why. All right. We all have, on each one of these texture categories, 1, 2, 3, and 4, we all have a pocket. First of all, there's a scalp. Okay, your hair is growing out of your scalp. In your scalp, there is a little hole. So if this is going to be your scalp here, there's a little hole, and this is like the magnified version. There's a bunch of these little holes like this, and that's called your follicle. Each one of those is a hair follicle. Inside of that hair follicle, you're going to have a hair growing out of it, sometimes 2, depending on where you are on that spectrum and what your DNA produces. Okay, and so that's the hair there growing out. Then you have this sac right here. Our hair is made out of keratin. So that's a little sac that's down inside of your scalp. It really helps your hair, and your hair is made out of it, so it's a protein, and it produces this hair strand, right? And then our hair is fed by this little sac right here, which is called sebum. Essentially, it's oil, okay? That oil lubricates the hair strand, okay? That lubricates the hair strand. So if you guys can see this, this oil here is lubricating the hair strand. I'm trying to draw and look at that thing. Lubricates the hair strand. Now, depending on what your natural is, okay, y'all, my natural is my natural. Depending on what your texture category is, that oil is going to respond differently on each person. Stay with me now, okay? Stay with me. So the thing is, when a person has naturally straight hair, meaning that they don't have any wave pattern or anything, and we talked about this person, okay? We talked about this person being of Asian descent. Typically, as a hairstylist, these are things that I would want to know, because I know that I'm not going to go in adding more oil to their hair because of that sac of sebum. See, the thing is that if this is your scalp, if this is part of your scalp, and your hair is growing from the hair follicle here, here, when that oil comes up to the surface, here, what's going to happen is that oil is going to lubricate this strand and slide down. That's the reason why a person with straight hair is saying, I can't go 3-4 days without shampooing my hair because my hair is going to be greasy. Does that make sense, guys? Here we go. So as we move on the spectrum, so we got that category 1 strand, that's the straight hair. And then we have our category 2 strand, same thing, all right, category 2. Now, there are some exceptions to the rule. We're going to talk about that. So the oil on a category 2 strand, same thing. Oil is going to come up And it may slide down that strand, but it's got a hump to go over, and it's got another hump to go over, and it's got another hump. So you'll see this person here saying, okay, I shampoo my hair once every 2 or 3 days. Some say I go a week, depending on what their natural balance is in their hair and how much sebum they produce. This is what's going to help determine. All right, stay with me. So we're going to go on to category 3. Category 3 being the biggest texture category there is. Category 3. Let's look at this. So we have the scalp, we have that strand coming down, we got our S patterns, big old S's, on down to smaller S's, okay? Whatever your S is on there, find your S. Find your S on here, okay? Your S. I didn't say anything crazy. Find your S on here. And the thing is that that S pattern can be a lot of ways. First of all, the S patterns are now doing more of a anti-gravitational type thing. They're standing up more so, okay? Because they're folding in against each other like loose ramen noodles. That was a good analogy, right? All right. So the tighter your S is, the less likely this oil is going to slide down that strand. It's not happening, okay? Because the oil is staying more so at the scalp right here. You guys see that? Staying more so at the scalp, and then it's not sliding all the way down. So, and then 4, just forget about it. So 4, category 4, that 4 category literally has is standing straight up on the head. Okay, standing straight up on the head. It's a lot coilier, and the sebum is staying more so at the scalp. Make sense, guys? All right. So the reason why we need to understand that is because shampoo and conditioner was created for specific needs. All right. Think about shampoo. Shampoo has an agent in it called sulfate. So a lot of people are like, oh my God, I can't use sulfates. And there are certain ones that you do want to stay away from. But however, you understand that anything that bubbles, that has a bubbling agent in it, I mean, literally like bubbles, bloop, bubbles, that is an agent or a product that has sulfate in it. It's in your soaps. It's in your detergents, like your dish detergents. It has so many different things in it that causes this bubbling. There's so many products that has bubbles in it that we use on a daily basis. Now, think about when you're cooking, and I always give this analogy. When you're cooking and you have a greasy pot, okay, you take that dishwashing liquid, that Dawn dishwashing liquid, you squeeze it all in the pot to break the grease down, right? You break that grease down. And the reason you want to break that grease down is so that you can clean the pot. Think about it. Grease is oil. It's oil. So same thing, concept. Somebody was like, oh my God, bling, I can use these bubbles to break this get this oil out of my head, okay? Following the regimen of people who are not in your texture category, okay? All right. Let's talk about it, guys. We've been talking about it. So in doing that necessity, we tended to dry our own hair out too, because people were saying, oh, if you don't shampoo your hair is not clean. Now, this is from back in the day. You got to wash your hair and wash it good. Wash it like your mammy should, or whatever we were doing back there, shampooing our scalps and our hair, just getting down there really, 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 causing all of this dryness on our scalp, okay, in a typically already dry. So we got on one end of the spectrum, we have a need for shampoo. Category 1, that's what we said, right? That shampoo was needed there. As you move on over, how many of you all shampoo your hair every day? I didn't think so. Okay, especially if you're not in a category 1, you shouldn't be shampooing your hair. When I say shampoo, I'm not talking about the act of washing. I'm talking about shampooing, using shampoo to shampoo your hair as often. And understanding your texture category is going to help you to be able to identify how often you should shampoo your hair. Okay, they got this on here. Nope, not me. I see you. Good girl. That's Ashley said no. See, the thing is that once you understand what your natural needs, you're able to provide what it needs to get the best optimal results for your hair. Okay, I've had women to come in with 4C hair, and literally they would tell me, my hair does not grow. My hair don't grow. But every time you cut your hair off, let's go here. Every time you got a relaxer, you end up with new growth every month. But you said your hair won't grow. If it wouldn't grow, you wouldn't have no new growth. There would be no new growth, So those are some of those things that we just kind of just block out of our mind. Now, a lot of us are conscious here. A lot of us are really into our whole natural hair regimen, and we understand all of that. But this is for the people who are brand new, and this is for the ones who thought they knew, So we're going to learn today. All right. So on the opposite end of the spectrum, so we have 4, where our category 4 is. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, where our category 4 is. What is the need there? So we started to understand some things. One thing I noticed is that back when everybody was getting these Jerry curls back in the 80s, yeah, I'm telling myself, my grade's telling me anyway, but back in the 80s when people were getting these Jerry curls, people's hair really, really grew, and it got long, and they were like, man, my hair grew so well when I had a Jerry curl. But then I transitioned over to come the 90s because I was trying to look like Aaliyah Rock the Boat and everybody else off Boomerang, The thing is that you have to understand when to do what. Okay, so on the shampoo side, you start with shampoo. On the other side, we're going to start with our conditioners. You want to start with conditioners because the conditioner is actually going to bring your moisture levels up from the end back to your scalp where your oil originally is. So you have to kind of combat it because the gravity is not going to slide over that oil over the humps. It don't work like that. Our hair defies gravity. It stands up. My hair is stretched out a little bit today, so I've got this whole big thing going on. But literally, I'm going to show y'all something. Once I go in, and I'm going to use my Whisper Whip. I always tell people about Whisper Whip because it's a really, really amazing product. People are still learning how to use it. People, the thing is that it is best used on dry hair. So I'm going to use a little bit, and you guys can follow the link in the website to get this. This is one of my products created by me. The Hair Whisperer Tendai. It's Whisper Whip Hydration. You can use it in 3 ways, but I'm going to show you guys how I go about my co-wash routine, okay? So y'all see my hair. Let me get it right. Can y'all see it? I can't really see. And I'm going to put this in my hair. Why on my dry hair? And you notice how I'm using my fingers, and I'm starting at the very ends of my hair. And I'm gently separating the pieces because I just got my ends trimmed not too long ago. And if I go on with a comb too quickly, what I'm going to notice is that my hair starts breaking off, and I end up having to get a trim a lot faster than if I use my fingers and I'm gentle with it. You don't get all that shedding and extra stuff going on. You get some shedding because naturally your hair sheds about 100 strands a day. But just from doing that alone, I'm able to use my fingers, define my curls out, and literally show you guys what my texture category is. I used about a quarter size amount in this little section. You guys see that? So I'm able to go through my whole head like that and, define my curls out. Now, everybody's going to have a different response. Everybody's going to have a different response. Thank you. She said, good tip. I appreciate that. Let me grab my towel really quickly. Oh, there we go. So now I look like Michael Jackson. You want to be started, something to be started. And then right behind that, well, if I'm going to use it as a leave-in, I use my oil. But literally for my whole head, I will go through and Whisper Whip my whole head. And then from there, I will go in and massage my scalp really vigorously with the product in my hair. I mean, like saturate it really, really, really vigorously and get my hair popping, as they say. And then I would rinse it out. And then I will go through and do it again. That would be my routine starting on the category 4 side. It's going to do 2 things. It's going to allow me to be able to avoid more breakage in my hair. It's going to hydrate my hair. You see how it's hydrated now? And when I wash it, it's going to detangle my hair so I'm not losing way more hair than I need to, okay? The whole goal with this curlier texture hair or with category 4, anything that's tighter S patterns than this going into the Z patterns, you got to preserve that hair. You can't go in following straight hair rules and expect hang time. It ain't gonna happen. Because first of all, our hair is designed to defy gravity. I tell people my hair was born to stand up, stand tall like a tree. Notice a tree. Yes, that's what it is. So I'm putting this oil in my hair right now. I'm going to show you guys some more tips here as we go along. But if you have questions, go ahead and hit me up. I see some people saying a few things. Let's check in with our guests and see what they're talking about. Latoya Tracy, she said, my natural is my natural. Yes, it is, boo, all day, every day. Vonnie McConaughey Moore, she says, good tip. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoy that. And so Dorothy McDonald says, I wash once a month and co-wash once a week. Yes, pretty much. So the thing is that you will want to, you definitely want to co-wash your hair. The curlier your hair is, more so than you are washing it. So what I just showed you guys was really just like a small tip of the iceberg. Literally what I do is I part my hair all the way down the center. And I can show you guys that if you want me to. I part my hair all the way down the center, and I literally go through 4 sections. So Valentina Valentine, she said, what is a co-wash? Co-wash means conditioner wash. CO is for conditioner wash. That was another term that was born out of necessity, us identifying what our needs are and then putting names with these needs. Okay. So I have my hair in a big old fro, y'all. So I can part my hair with my hands. One thing I always tell people to say is my hands are the best tools I could ever use, you know, especially, and notice how I'm not going like this and dragging my fingers out because it gets stuck. I'm actually going to the ends of my hair, finding the end, stretching it out for the most part, but I'm doing it with bigger sections because I know how. Okay, stretching it out, and I'm gonna actually part my hair with looseness in mind. So if I get a snag, I stop and gently work my hair apart. Okay, then I'm able to put the products in my hair the way I want to. I can section it out and do it in spaces like this. I can go through each section like this and add the Whisper Whip and run my fingers through. And I do have a video where you guys can actually watch that on YouTube. It's my YouTube channel is The Hair Whisperer Tendai. The Hair Whisperer Tendai. The Hair Whisperer Tendai. I'll type that on there so you guys can see. So yeah, I'll type that on there so you guys can see that. And check it out. The Hair Whisperer Tendai. So let's see here. Agnes Brown says, my granddaughter hair is so coarse and she is very tender-headed. Yes. So Agnes, let's talk about this, because sometimes y'all be using combs on them babies and it hurts their heads. So the thing is, I know I'm a hairstylist. Y'all brought them kids to me like, here, take this one. Let me see what you can do with that. And man, if you, let me tell you, you have to learn how to use your hands and be gentle. I learned this really, really quickly. Each coil, each hair strand, if you're a 3, category 4, anything like that, it has a coil. So that's like a slinky. It's like a slinky. So if you take a slinky and you pull it all the way apart and then you let it snap back together, it's going to cause this whole like that, right? And then we go in, well, 15. Yeah, 15. Ugh. So, okay. So let's go back. The hair like this. I can't go in with a comb and just snatch on my hair. I literally have to take this and stretch it out a little bit. See, if you take this coil here at the very end, stretch it out, and then you just add those pieces together, making sure that, you know, you don't cause more damage, more breakage. And once you get it stretched out, that hair is straight now. See, hold it taut, and then put your product in, any co-wash you have, the co-washes that you like. There's some by As I Am. Again, I have my Whisper Whip. There's some other ones somebody mentioned from Shea Moisture, they have one. Carol's Daughter. I mean, pretty much all of the natural hair lines have co-washes out there. You guys can actually type in your favorite ones, but mine is available, and you can follow the link that's in the comments to get to my products. That's one of them. And yeah, it's really amazing with helping you to avoid so much breakage and damage, okay, over the processes. So these are things that we want to keep in mind for our hair. But with your granddaughter, use your fingers, stretch it out more, and actually work through the hair in sections before you try to go in with the comb. Don't go in with the comb. That's another one of those tools that wasn't necessarily designed with your growth of hair in mind. You know what I'm saying? It'll do the job as far as getting apart eventually, but a lot of your hair is going to be in that comb, especially if you have thinner strands of hair. We just talked about that, right? So yes, so we have some people talking about that, mention the Shea Moisture. We have, you're welcome, Agnes. What does porosity mean? Okay, so porosity is one of the things that I always tell people is that your porosity levels are going to be based on what you've been doing to your hair, essentially. If you've been shampooing your hair, and we just talked about shampoo sucking oil out, okay, which is going to leave you with a dry strand of hair. You put that empty hair now into a water, and it's going to float. Because if you think about a sponge, guys, if you think about a sponge literally is porous, or it's very, very, it has holes in it, pores. So with that in mind, if you take a dry sponge and put it in water, it's going to float. It won't sink to the bottom or anything like that until you actually squeeze that sponge down in the water a few times, let it suck up that water. Then you put it in water, it's going to sink right to the bottom. Okay, so the whole porosity test, that's one of those things there's some things on YouTube that's valid, and there's some other things on YouTube that's a little bit not so valid. So I'll put it that way. So you just have to educate yourself. You tune into Texture Talk every week, and I can give you guys some tips based on my experiences behind the chair, not just from my own hair, but just from working with category 1, 2, 3, and 4, with all of the categories in between, and helping you guys to put this thing together. And I really, really would love, any questions that you have, I'll be more than happy to help you guys with. What helps very thin edges? Janice, we talked about a few different things. One of them, like I'll tell you guys, so on just about everybody's hair, you see, I'm pulling my hair back. Now my hair, I don't really use a whole lot of tension. In 2 years, I put heat on my hair one time, and that was maybe a few weeks ago. And so the thing is that, with my edges, if you look at it, I got these little waves around here, but essentially the hairs around my edges are really short. So I had to be very, very gentle. One thing, constantly pulling your hair back into a bun can cause problems. I mean, tight buns, like you pull them back really, really tight. That could cause problems with your hair keeping its, the edges intact. The other thing is that if your edges are already gone, hopefully it's not scar tissue, because if it's scar tissue, that's a whole nother ball game. But one of the things I've often talked to my clients about is about making sure you're taking a good growth vitamin, but also leaving your edges alone, like let them rest. And so that they can grow, whatever little hair start to peek out of there, let them grow on out. Now, if you have issues with hair thinning, you could use like the Do Grow. There are plenty of different products on the market that literally you could put on there for your edges that'll really help you to be able to get a grasp on that. So you definitely don't want to keep it too dried out. Okay, we got a whole bunch of other questions coming in too, and I don't want to miss out. Adele, there you are. I was getting worried, girl. I was like, where's Adele at? She's usually on here by now. So glad you're here, and your natural is definitely your natural. Let's see. What about a heated conditioning cap? Is that a no because it's heated? Oh, no. That's not a no. So think about it. Your heat, there's different types of heat. You have direct heat. The direct heat actually is what causes more problems. So you're thinking about, for instance, when you follow straight hair regimens or rules, You're gonna go in, shampoo your hair, okay? Which one? Shampoo sucks the moisture out. So we've taken all of the oils out of your hair. Okay, some of y'all use clarifying shampoo, and God, oh my God, that clarifying shampoo is literally stripping everything out, stripping everything. And then you blow dry this hair. The hair becomes even more fragile and vulnerable at that point. It's bare. Then you go in, spray a heat protectant, which actually is an oil that you heat up with iron that gets even hotter, and then you flat iron this hair out, or not. You just go in and silk press it out, and then you end up with this, straighter hair. I kind of lost my train of thought, and I hate when I do that, so I'm gonna go back and look at your question again. But the bottom line is that, oh yeah, when you use the heated cap with your moisture, you have a layer there. So you have your conditioner in your hair, you put your heated cap on, and then you're going to actually be now infusing that moisture because that heat is opening up the pores with the moisture on there and just making it so nice and yummy. You rinse it off, good to go. Speaking of a good deep conditioner, I want to tell you guys about this Argan Deluxe. This is a hydrating mask for your hair. Masks are amazing for the winter, especially even if you're in warmer climates. The weather still changes a little bit. The air changes because globally, you've got something different going on in the atmosphere. So this Argan Deluxe mask is really, really good for following up with your, say for instance, you use your Whisper Whip first to wash your hair, and then you rinse that out, and then you're going to go behind it with your mask. I've even done 2-strand twists with my mask too, and kind of left it in there along with the oil. Let me show you guys the oil. This is the Argan Deluxe oil. So this is the Argan Deluxe oil and the Argan Deluxe mask. I'm actually going to give some products away tonight. I even have a curl cream, which is excellent for doing like twists. Let me show you guys. I'm going to go ahead and untwist this so you guys can see it. So this is like a pump with a cream. This is a brand new bottle. But I'll show you guys how you can use this as a really good moisturizer for your hair. So following the liquid oil cream method, lock method. So this is where I put the Whisper Whip on my hair earlier. You guys can see it's dry now. Okay, and I put the oil on right behind that. This is the oil. Argan Deluxe oil, all found on my website, healthyhair.solutions, but you're going to go use the link that's in there. And we do have a Black Friday sale that just kicked off today. You guys are able to get an additional 30% off of your purchase, so be sure to do that. And this is the cream going on right behind it. Okay, putting that on my hair, and oh, my hair is so soft with that cream on there, and it's literally allowing my hair to just stay nice and moisturized. Okay. And I'm able to 2-strand twist my hair up, or I can finger coil it once it got a little bit curlier. Some of you guys who have that really, really tighter coiled hair, you have the luxury of being able to do finger coils on your hair. You see that? Mine looks like the good ship lollipops. Control. Yes, I'm gonna leave that there too for y'all. But it's a great, great, great feeling to be able to have that nice soft hair. I can let that completely dry, and next day if I want to, rock it like that, I can, or I could just take it, separate them gently, and have finger coils all over my head if I decide to. Yep. Or I could do big twists with it. I could do Bantu knots, depending on what you need. This is going to be the foundation for soft hair for you. Okay. So just so you see that again. This is your oil, the Argan Deluxe oil. And your mask. This is a holy grail, okay? Your oil, your mask. And then, right, sometimes you can't put too much product. So let's go to our comments here and questions. Let me push my hair back up in here. Oh, it's feeling so nice and soft and yummy too. I left my hair like this again so I could play with my hair on the screen for you guys and you can see what it's doing. All right, so let's see what we got. Ossie Williams, I hope I said that right. I have 4C hair. How can I mitigate severe knotting? How can you avoid that? Are you using a comb on your hair? O.C. Williams, she said, how can I mitigate severe knotting? Okay, when you have a lot of knots, fairy knots going on is what they call them. It's what they call them, fairy knots. What happens is you've either gone in and combed your hair at some point. This is it, okay? Every time, every client I've worked on and they've gotten those knots in their hair, it's because I've combed through their hair. Okay, your hair is curly. You comb, it stretches out, separates, curls back up, and goes against each other. Now they're tangling, okay? And now when you comb, they're intertwining, knotting up, then they're snapping apart, which one strand of hair, once it's snapped apart, there is now a split in your hair, in that one strand, in the end of it. The higher the split goes, it's now weakened. One side breaks off. Now you've got this side breaking off, and it literally keeps doing that all the way up your head. Now, this is the crazy part. Your hair sheds about 100 to 150 strands a day. The thing is, guys, is that when your hair splits like that and it starts to curl up, even though it's split, it's still going to curl. Your hair causes this twine. It twists around each other like this. And the worse your splits are, the longer you wait, it starts getting worse and worse. The shed hair sheds anyway. 100 to 150 strands a day is going to shed. As it comes out, it collects into these little balls of hair that gets caught in your split ends. So fairy knots essentially are a collection of shed hair caught in split ends. The way to eliminate that is to hydrate your hair first of all and get a good trim. Guys, a good trim does not mean I don't want to take my hair out. Your hair is going to cut itself anyway if you don't. So the thing is if it's split and you cut here, if you cut here, your hair is still split. See that? You have to literally go up above where it's split at and make that hair blunt so that it stops the shedding. I literally did that. Let's see, my hair was in, I had those little twisties all over my head. And I thought I was going to lock, but I was too scared. So I took them down. And I knew I had to get a trim because I had to use a comb in order to take that down, right? To get all the shed hair out because it was up for like 3 months. But once I did that, I got a trim, got all my hair even. That's why even not right now with my hair out, it's still got a nice shape on it because the ends have been trimmed. I can literally take, the thing is that when your hair, even though it looks like this, it's still shaped the right way, It's still shaped the right way. And my ends don't need to be trimmed because they were trimmed already. And how I know they don't need to be trimmed is because I haven't been combing it. The more you comb your hair, the more you're going to have fairy knots. If you're using your fingers on your hair and being gentle on your hair and on your ends, your hair is not going to split because it's not being snatched off by a comb. So some people ask me, how often should I trim my hair? Well, that depends on what you're doing to your hair. If you're constantly combing your hair and snatching it off, then yeah, you're going to be in a situation where you need to trim your hair more often. But if you're trying to maintain and retain length, hey, be gentle to your hair as it's growing out, and keep your hair moisturized. Next time we talk, we're here, I want to talk about ways to put your hair out of the way so that you're not constantly causing breakage and making your hair do all these crazy things and you're able to retain your length. Okay. Let's go. We have a few more questions and we're actually over our time, but that's okay because we're going to talk. Let's see. Okay. We said, what about a heated cap? We have some questions up top. Let's go on up here. Oh, Sean, she says, I hate those knots. They are stressful. Phyllis Haran, she says, clip your ends every few months. Yeah, you could clip them every few months, especially if you are using a comb on your hair. So this is a good question. She says, what about detangling combs? Anything that's grabbing your hair and snatching it off, you just got to be really careful that when the hair curls up, you're not pulling on it and snapping it off. You just have to be very, very careful of that, okay? So when do you use a comb? Agnes Brown. You use a comb when your hair has been detangled. So like the way I showed you guys with your fingers, stretching it out. Once your hair is stretched out and it's like this, and you can get a comb through it, by all means, you can use the comb then. I tell people to keep the combs out of their hair until they learn how to work with their fingers first. Once you do that, then you know to go in And you can stop right there. You see how it's snagged with your fingers? If you're able to get through your hair with your fingers like that, then you can take a comb, hold it taut, and go through gently. You know what I'm saying? But do understand that's going to cause a lack of definition in your hair. Okay, so there's so many things you guys have to learn about working with your natural hair. Let's see. Atisha Pringle says, wow, did not know that. Thanks. You're very welcome. Glad I could help. Is there sweet almond oil in the argan products? No, the Whisper Whip, I believe, does have a little bit of the sweet almond oil. I don't have my glasses to read it, but all of the products, the ingredients are right there on it. You can take a look at it, but no, ma'am. Are you allergic to it? And someone says, good evening. My natural is my natural, New Jersey. Hey, girl, how are you, Ursula Lewis? So good to have you here tonight. Someone says, pick me, pick me. I will definitely try to pick you, but we're going to see what happens. How often do you hot oil treatment? That really, you can do it as often as you like. You can do it as often as you like, but yeah, the co-washing should help that. I'd say maybe like once a week or once every 2 weeks would be good enough. It depends on what the atmosphere like where you are too. Sean Hardy said, I like masks. And someone else says, the product you put in the front of your head before, was that a leave-in conditioner and is the actual size for sale? This is the actual size of the Whisper Whip. Whisper Whip can, and I will say can, be used in 3 ways, and this really depends on where you are, what the weather's like where you are. In the summertime, I can use it as a leave-in. In the wintertime, not so much, because the moisture is so different. It's a water-based product, so when I put it in, it could cause my hair to start to kind of get that little ashy kind of feel. So it just really depends. But I love this for detangling my hair, for keeping my hair, actually creating the definition in my hair. Makes my hair super soft, and it's my shampoo. This is my shampoo supplement, co-wash. Okay, and yes, it only comes in one size, 32 ounces. This is a big old bottle, and the reason I do that is because you have to use quite a bit of it on your hair every so often. It's love from me. So yes, Kizzy, that is the actual size. Let's see. I tend to put too much product in, which weighs my hair down. I must learn to be more modest. If you have to be, it depends on what your needs are. So again, that's where the My Natural is My Natural comes in. You have to do what's best for you. Okay. This is OD Almagro. Would love to chat with you about PR, branding, and marketing services. Yes, let's talk, girl. Hit me up on my inbox on Facebook under the Hair Whisperer Tendai, or Tendai Robin Morris. I'll type that in for you so you can find me. That is my information on Facebook. Okay, and also you guys follow me on Instagram under Healthy Hair Solutions. You find me there. And also Natural Hair Mag. Please share this video. Share this video once again. Let's see here. We have some more people on here. I don't want to. Somebody said, love the packaging. Thank you so much. So speaking of packaging, since we're over our time, it's 8:07. I put my phone number in. It looks like you guys just really, really like to talk to me on here. You type your questions in, and that's great. Agnes, I'm so glad you found the page also. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. And I told you guys I want to give away some products. So I'm looking for someone who would like to win this set here, this whole set. I have a mask, I have a Whisper Whip, I have a curl cream, and an oil. Okay, y'all ready? So this is what you got to do. You got to call me. You got to call me. The number, once again, is 636-206-4922. And my phone is literally right here in my hands. Who's going to call me first? The first one that likes this. Uh-oh, here we go. You see yourself on there? Here we go, guys. Somebody is super quick on the draw. Are you there? Hold on 1 second. Yes, hold on 1 second. Let me get you on the line. Oh, I've got like 15 people trying to call me, and I can't get her voice call. Are you there? Hello? Hello. Yes. How are you? How are you? Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. What's your name and where are you calling from? And tell me something good.
I'm Valentina.
Valentina, okay. And where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Buffalo, New York.
Nice. New York is in the house. And our affirmation, do you know what our affirmation is?
Affirmation?
Our affirmation is my natural is my natural. Is this your first time on the show?
Yes, it's my very, very first time.
Awesome. Well, welcome. And hey, you won our gift set, but I need you to say my natural is my natural.
My natural is my natural.
You guys make some noise. Valentina actually won the set we talked about. Make some noise for Valentina. Thank you so much for being a first timer. And hopefully you'll come up. Will you come back and visit us again next week? She won. You won all of the products. So you'll get the Whisper Whip, you get the curl cream, the Argan Deluxe curl cream right here, the curl enhancing cream. You're going to get our beautiful argan oil, the package here, the Argan Deluxe, and you're going to get the Argan Deluxe mask. Yes.
You see, all my hair dry, and I get all these curls for free.
Yes, you will, ma'am, just for calling in and tuning in with us tonight. So that is the way that goes. Valentina, stay on the line and I am going to get you taken care of. We're going to get all your information from you, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So guys, that is our show for tonight. I'm so happy that you guys all decided to stay here with me for this entire show. I thoroughly appreciate it. Please share the video and any information she's still making noise. Any information that you guys would want to know, we'll talk about it right here on Texture Talk Live, and we'll have visitors. We'll have people in that you guys can ask questions to as well. So have a wonderful night. Remember, your natural is your natural, and hey, live it, love it, and be beautiful. And we'll talk about it. Stay tuned for next week, okay, guys? Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Take care.